True Lies once thrilled you with heart-pounding action scenes, but behind the laughter and thrilling spy sequences were familiar faces that have now vanished from real life forever. Some died young from unexpected accidents. Others passed away from illnesses never disclosed. And there are those whose deaths remain a mystery, even to this day. Let's explore and honor the legacies they left behind. Let's go. Bill Paxton as Simon. Bill Paxton was born on May 17, 1955 in Fort Worth, Texas. In 1994, when he was 39 years old, he appeared in the action blockbuster True Lies as Simon, a timid used car salesman who pretends to be a CIA agent to seduce another man's wife. Though only a supporting role, Paxton left a lasting impression with his charming and humorous performance, adding a memorable touch to James Cameron's film. Behind that comedic act was a man who had experienced many silent pains in his personal life. Paxton had a unique childhood. He once witnessed President John F. Kennedy emerging from the Texas hotel just hours before the assassination, an image that haunted him throughout his life. His first marriage to Kelly Rowan ended after just 1 year, leaving a deep emotional scar. Later, he found true love with Louise Newberry, whom he met on a bus in London. But life was far from peaceful. A devoted father and model husband, Paxton faced intense career pressures, grueling film shoots, lingering illness, and the heavy weight of success that he constantly tried to maintain. In a rare interview in early 2017, Paxton revealed that he had a heart valve condition caused by rheumatic fever in his youth, a disease he had quietly battled for years. His first heart surgery at Cedars-Sinai appeared to be successful, but complications later required a second emergency operation. He never woke up. William Paxton took his final breath on February 25, 2017, due to a stroke caused by post-surgical complications at the age of 61. His ashes were laid to rest at Forest Lawn, Hollywood Hills, a place reserved for cinema legends. His family later sued the hospital and the surgeon for gross negligence that led to his death. The lawsuit lasted several years and ended in 2022 with an undisclosed out-of-court settlement. However, part of the compensation amounted to $1 million. At the time of his passing, William Paxton had an estimated net worth of around $40 million USD, accumulated from dozens of iconic roles in which he always portrayed relatable, down-to-earth men with emotional depth. Though gone, Paxton lives on in the hearts of fans as a rare Hollywood talent, sincere, dedicated, and deeply human. Paul Barceloo as the old guy in bathroom. Paul Barceloo was born on May 31, 1922 in Cohoes, New York. In 1994, when he was 72 years old, he made a brief appearance in the blockbuster True Lies as the old guy in the bathroom, a bewildered passerby caught in the middle of a chaotic gunfight. Although he appeared for only a few seconds on screen, his startled and genuine expression brought laughter and became an unforgettable highlight amid the film's intense action sequences. Throughout his decades-long career, Paul Barceloo often played small but distinctive roles, appearing in various films and television shows. One of his standout performances was in the sci-fi comedy Inner Space, 1987, where he contributed to the film's quirky humor, a movie that went on to win an Oscar for visual effects. He also appeared in The Wizard of Speed and Time, 1988. A work praised by indie film lovers for its creativity and DIY spirit. Barceloo was the kind of actor who nailed every scene, quietly delivering strong performances that left memorable moments. In his personal life, he never married, had no children, and lived quietly until the end of his days. As he aged, his health declined, but he maintained a calm demeanor and a love for his craft just as he had at the start. Fellow actors regarded him as a gentleman, respected and devoted to every small role he took on. Paul Barceloo passed away on November 22, 2017, at the age of 95, from natural causes. His ashes were laid to rest peacefully in a California cemetery. His estimated net worth at the time of his passing was around 500,000 USD, a modest amount, but well earned for a life devoted quietly to the craft of acting. Charlton Heston as Spencer Trilby. Charlton Heston, born John Charles Carter, was born on October 4, 1923, in Evanston, Illinois, and is a towering figure in American cinema. In 1994, when he was 71 years old, he appeared in the blockbuster True Lies as Spencer Trilby, the head of the Omega Sector spy organization. Although it was only a supporting role, Heston's commanding presence, piercing gaze, and authoritative voice brought the character of Trilby to life as the strategic soul of the entire mission, adding depth to this action-packed film. It was also one of his final roles before he retired from the screen. Heston rose to the peak of Hollywood with iconic roles such as Moses in The Ten Commandments, 1956, and Ben-Hur, 1959, earning an Academy Award for Best Actor. But behind the glory, his personal life was filled with somber tones. His parents divorced when he was 10 years old, leaving a deep psychological scar that made him feel perpetually out of place. His marriage to Lydia Clark lasted 64 years, and was considered a model of enduring love in Hollywood, but it was not without tensions, especially when he became a lightning rod for criticism due to his far-right political views later in life. Beyond his monumental film career, Heston was once a prominent face in the civil rights movement during the 1960s. However, his fervent support for gun ownership as president of the National Rifle Association, NRA, from 1998 to 2003, created a conflicting image in the eyes of the public. In his final years, Heston faced a series of health issues: hip replacement surgery in 1996, prostate cancer treatment in 1998, and in 2002, he publicly disclosed his diagnosis of Alzheimer's disease. That cruel degenerative illness stole from him the memory and strength that had defined the Charlton Heston legacy. He passed away on April 5, 2008, at his home in Beverly Hills, beside his devoted wife, Lydia. Charlton Heston was 84 years old at the time of his death, which was believed to have been caused by pneumonia after a long period of decline due to Alzheimer's. His net worth at the time was estimated at around 40 million USD, amassed through 6 decades of work in film, advertising, and political advocacy. Arnold Schwarzenegger as Harry Tasker. Arnold Schwarzenegger, born on July 30, 1947, in Thal, Austria, is one of the greatest action icons in cinematic history. In 1994, when he was 47 years old, he starred as Harry Tasker in True Lies, a double-life spy who is both a cold, skilled agent and a boring husband in the eyes of his wife and daughter. This was a peak performance that perfectly blended action, humor, and family emotion, affirming once again that Schwarzenegger was not just muscle, but also an actor capable of making audiences laugh. The character Harry Tasker was also the closest cinematic reflection of Arnold himself, powerful, mysterious, but always torn between two worlds, duty and family. Despite his career success, Arnold's life was marked by shocking twists and deep tensions. His 25-year marriage to Maria Shriver, a member of the Kennedy family, ended in 2011 after it was revealed that he had fathered a child with the family's housekeeper, a secret kept for 14 years. The revelation rocked American media and shattered his image as the perfect man in the public eye. After the divorce, he faced a wave of criticism and fractured relationships with his children, particularly with his son, born out of wedlock. This event marked one of the darkest periods of his life, when both his career and public image were severely damaged. Not limited to film, Arnold also became a tenacious politician. He served as the governor of California for 2 terms from 2003 to 2011. However, his time in office was far from smooth. He had to confront budget crises, natural disasters, and relentless political pressure. After leaving office, he returned to Hollywood but never quite regained his former dominance, partly due to age and partly because the audience had changed. He underwent heart surgery in 2018, which alarmed fans, but he recovered well and maintained a rigorous workout routine like a true warrior. As of 2025, Arnold Schwarzenegger is 78 years old and still carries the image of a living legend. He continues to work in the film industry, appearing in TV projects like the Netflix series Fubar, while also being an active environmental advocate and inspirational speaker at global events. His net worth is estimated at around 450 million USD, largely from film, real estate, fitness ventures, and personal branding. After all the scandals, heartbreaks, and ups and downs, Arnold remains standing like a real-life Terminator, a man who not only fought enemies on screen, but also battled his own mistakes, pain, and shadows throughout his life. Jamie Lee Curtis as Helen Tasker. Jamie Lee Curtis, born on November 22, 1958 in Santa Monica, California, is the daughter of two film legends, Tony Curtis and Janet Leigh. She began her acting career in the late 1970s and quickly became a horror icon thanks to her role as Laurie Strode in Halloween. When she was 36 years old, Curtis took on the role of Helen Tasker in True Lies, 1994, playing a seemingly dull housewife who unexpectedly transforms into the brave partner of an international spy. The role not only showcased her versatility, but also earned her a Golden Globe for Best Actress in a Musical or Comedy. Yet behind the applause and stage lights, Curtis went through a dark period. After undergoing cosmetic surgery in the 1980s, she began abusing opioid painkillers. This continued for many years and was kept secret until she made the decision to get clean in 1999. A choice Curtis later called the greatest achievement of my life. Her career was not overshadowed by that past. In fact, she used her personal experience as a source of inspiration to advocate for mental health and fight against unrealistic beauty standards in Hollywood. Jamie Lee Curtis's marriage life ran counter to most fleeting romances in Hollywood. After seeing a photo of Christopher Guest in Rolling Stone magazine, she declared to her friend, "I'm going to marry that man." 5 months later, they wed in December 1984. Although Guest later became the Baron Hayden Guest, Curtis never used the aristocratic title. The couple adopted 2 daughters and have maintained a strong marriage for nearly 4 decades, an exceptionally rare feat in the turbulent entertainment industry. Through many ups and downs, Jamie Lee Curtis has become a multi-talented artist, from a scream queen in horror films to a courageous mother in real life, from a best-selling children's book author to an Oscar winner in 2023 for Best Supporting Actress in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Now, at 66 years old, she remains full of vitality and creative passion. Her estimated net worth of 60 million USD reflects not only commercial success, but also the resilience, talent, and courage that have helped Jamie Lee Curtis overcome life's darkest valleys. Tom Arnold as Albert Gibb Gibson. Tom Arnold, born on March 6, 1959 in Ottumwa, Iowa, is an American actor and comedian. He began acting when he was 35 years old and rose to fame through his role as Albert Gibb Gibson in True Lies, 1994, the action blockbuster directed by James Cameron. In the film, Tom played Gibb, the loyal and witty sidekick to spy Harry Tasker, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Thanks to his charming and humorous performance, the role was praised as a bright spot that balanced high-stakes action with comedy. True Lies not only brought Arnold recognition as a Hollywood actor, but also coincided with the turmoil of his controversial marriage to comedian Roseanne Barr, one of the most scandalous relationships of the 1990s. Their marriage, from 1990 to 1994, was marked by public arguments, accusations of drug abuse, and endless tabloid stories. While Roseanne was a major star, Tom was often seen as the tag-along, which placed him under immense psychological pressure. After the divorce, Arnold struggled to rediscover himself in the harsh world of show business. Tom Arnold's private life also carried deep pain from childhood. His mother left when he was young, leaving 3 children for their single father to raise in hardship. His sister Lori got involved in drugs and ran the largest meth distribution ring in the Midwest before being arrested in 1989. Tom, on the other hand, chose the path of honest work, once laboring in a meatpacking plant before turning to acting. He also battled alcoholism and drug addiction but successfully entered recovery in the late 1990s, though he later faced further setbacks such as a motorcycle accident and a 4th divorce in 2020. Despite all the ups and downs, Tom Arnold has steadily maintained his career, appearing in over 200 projects from film to television, including Animal Factory, Happy Endings, and the reality show My Big Redneck Wedding. Though never considered a top-tier star, he has remained a steady presence in Hollywood. Now past 60 years old, Arnold continues to work hard and take part in charity efforts. His estimated net worth is around $20 million USD, largely from his charming supporting roles, production work, and television appearances. Tia Carrere as Juno Skinner. Althea Ray Duhinio Janeiro, widely known by her stage name Tia Carrere, was born on January 2, 1967, in Honolulu, Hawaii, into a Filipino-American family. When she joined James Cameron's film True Lies, 1994, she was just 27 years old, a vibrant age full of beauty and charisma. In the film, Carrere portrayed Juno Skinner, a seductive but dangerous art dealer secretly collaborating with a terrorist group to carry out a deadly plot. The combination of her icy beauty, sharp intellect, and ruthless demeanor made Juno one of the most memorable villains of the 1990s big screen. Beyond this iconic role, Carrere also left her mark with parts in Wayne's World, Relic Hunter, and as the voice of Nani in the Lilo and Stitch franchise. However, behind the spotlight was a life full of personal struggles. She went through 2 contentious divorces, first with producer Eli Samaha, and later with photographer Simon Wakelin, with whom she has a daughter. The second divorce was particularly acrimonious, involving custody and financial disputes. Carrere also faced financial pressures early in her career, pushing her to work tirelessly to build a name in both acting and music. A minor accident occurred during a fight scene with Jamie Lee Curtis on the True Lies set, but fortunately, it caused no lasting harm. Now at 58, Tia Carrere remains a symbol of sensuality and talent in Hollywood. Though no longer at the peak of her fame, she continues to work in film, television, and voice acting, pursuing art as a means of self-worth and resilience. With an estimated net worth of $5 million, Carrere stands as a testament to a courageous woman who overcame hardship, and as a pioneering figure for Asian American actors who left a strong mark on the global film industry. Art Malik as Salim Abu Aziz. Art Malik, born Athar-ul-Haqq Malik on November 13, 1952, in Bahawalpur, Pakistan, is a British actor of Pakistani descent. He rose to prominence during the 1980s through acclaimed roles in British film and television. In 1994, at the age of 42, he played the villain Salim Abu Aziz in the action blockbuster True Lies, going toe-to-toe with Arnold Schwarzenegger. With his chilling demeanor and sharp performance, Malik turned Salim into a terrifying and unforgettable antagonist for audiences worldwide. Before that, Malik had made waves as Hari Kumar in the series The Jewel in the Crown, 1984, a breakout role that earned him major British television award nominations. Over the years, he appeared in notable projects such as The Living Daylights, 1987, Holby City, 2003 to 2005, and Homeland, 2014 to 2020. Yet behind the glamour of his career was a dark period he once endured. After his sudden fame in 1984, Malik fell into alcohol abuse, reckless spending, and inflated ego. His personal life spiraled. His wife left him, and he sank into debt, owing £55,000 to the bank and facing $32,000 in tax arrears, nearly driving him to bankruptcy. At his lowest point, the role of Salim in True Lies became a lifeline, not just financially, but also in reclaiming his professional reputation. He later reconciled with his wife, and together they weathered the storm. Though born into a Muslim family, Malik doesn't consider himself a devout Muslim and has described himself as an apostate, reflecting his complex identity and resistance to traditional molds. His marriage to Juno, a former classmate at Guildhall, is private and stable. They have 2 daughters and have worked to rebuild their family after the turmoil. Today, at 72, Art Malik remains active in European film and television, known for his calm demeanor and intellectual depth. He has participated in humanitarian relief efforts and speaks openly about his values and beliefs. With an estimated net worth of $3 million, a modest but hard-earned figure, Malik's story reflects a career of perseverance and dignity from a man who once stood on the edge of losing everything. Eliza Dushku as Dana Tasker. Eliza Dushku was born on December 30th, 1980, in Watertown, Massachusetts, United States. When she was just 13 years old, she appeared in the blockbuster action film True Lies, 1994, playing Dana Tasker, the headstrong and rebellious daughter of secret agent Harry Tasker, portrayed by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Although it was only a supporting role, Eliza left a lasting impression with her sharp presence, and especially the heart-pounding helicopter nose-dangle scene, which became one of the film's most memorable moments. This was also the role that paved the way for her later acting career, one that would be both turbulent and radiant. Success might have seemed within reach, but Eliza's childhood was overshadowed by a horrifying trauma that she carried for many years. During the filming of True Lies, Eliza was sexually abused by an older stuntman, and no one on set protected her. It wasn't until 2018, amid the rise of the #MeToo movement, that Eliza courageously spoke out, revealing the bitter truth she had silently endured for over 2 decades. That wound deeply affected her mental health, leading her into periods of crisis and a loss of faith in the glamorous yet indifferent entertainment industry. Eliza's personal life also faced instability. After several failed relationships, she found peace with Peter Palangian, a businessman of Albanian descent, and married him in 2018. They have 2 children together, and Eliza gradually withdrew from Hollywood to focus on healing, education, and social advocacy. She won a lawsuit against CBS after accusing the network of harassment on the set of Bull, receiving nearly $10 million, not for fame, but as a means of reclaiming dignity for herself and other women who had been harmed like her. As of 2025, Eliza Dushku is 45 years old and lives in Boston with her husband and children. She runs a nonprofit organization dedicated to children's and women's rights and also teaches social justice. Her estimated net worth is around $10 million, stemming from her decades-long acting career, the CBS settlement, and private investments. From a silent victim to an unrelenting warrior for justice, Eliza has not only survived, she has risen as a symbol of courage and rebirth. Grant Heslov as Fasil. Grant Heslov was born on May 15, 1963, in Los Angeles, California, United States. At 31 years old, he played Fasil in the spy action film True Lies, 1994, starring alongside Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis. Fasil was a sharp and witty tech specialist, offering a lighter tone amidst the film's intense action sequences. Though not a lead role, Heslov's character was beloved for his humor and chemistry with the main cast. However, Grant Heslov still faced many challenges in his career. After appearing in supporting roles in well-known films such as Enemy of the State and The Scorpion King, he made the risky decision to pivot toward producing and screenwriting, a bold move in the highly competitive landscape of Hollywood. The pressure of having to prove himself outside the shadow of his best friend George Clooney once left him feeling overlooked. But it was Heslov's persistence and creativity that ultimately transformed him into one of the most respected filmmakers working today. His personal life has been relatively stable. Grant married producer Helen Heslov, and they have 2 daughters together. Unlike many colleagues entangled in scandals or divorce, his marriage has endured for decades. This peace in his private life provided a solid foundation for him to fully commit to his behind-the-scenes career. Together with George Clooney, he co-founded the production company Smokehouse Pictures and achieved major success with projects such as Good Night and Good Luck, and especially Argo, 2012, which earned him an Oscar for Best Picture in 2013. As of 2025, Grant Heslov is 62 years old and remains active in the film industry, frequently working behind the camera as a director and producer. His net worth is estimated at around $20 million, mostly stemming from his collaborations with Clooney, prestigious awards, and various television ventures. Marshall Manesh as Jamal Khaled. Marshall Manesh was born on August 16, 1950, in Mashhad, Iran. He began his film career at 44 years old with the role of Jamal Khaled in True Lies, 1994, directed by James Cameron. In the movie, Manesh played a supporting character under interrogation, leaving an impression with his panicked expressions and humorous undertones, a light-hearted touch amid the film's tense action atmosphere. Manesh lost his father at a young age and was raised by his mother, whom he considered a major source of inspiration in his artistic journey. After moving to the United States in the mid-1970s, he joined the Persian Theater Group and toured across the U.S., Canada, and Europe for 8 years. With more than 100 roles in films, television, and over 40 commercials, he became a familiar face in the entertainment industry, albeit mostly in supporting parts. He is especially remembered by audiences for his role as the taxi driver Ranjit in the series How I Met Your Mother. As a Middle Eastern actor working in Hollywood, Manesh has openly spoken about the difficulty of overcoming role typecasting, where Middle Eastern characters are often boxed into villainous or comedic roles. This is seen as a soft tragedy in his career, similar to what many of his peers from similar backgrounds have faced. Nevertheless, he has never been involved in scandals, on-set accidents, or personal controversies, something rare in Hollywood. At 74 years old in 2025, Marshall Manesh continues acting, appearing on screen while keeping his personal life private. His net worth is estimated to be around $1 million, primarily accumulated through steady and enduring supporting roles over more than 3 decades. Though they appeared only for minutes or held leading parts, each of them contributed to the soul of True Lies. Now, as many of them have departed forever, the film feels more poignant than ever. Is there a name that surprised you to learn has passed away? Leave a comment and share your thoughts, because sometimes the most beautiful memories come from the moments we least expect.